it's definitely a totally different thrill to do the urban stuff. Just because it's kind of new for me, I guess. I mean, I've been climbing rock like full-time outdoors for years. And so you get a pretty good sense of like, okay, this is what it's like, this is what it feels like. There's a little bit less of that sense of discovery. And for sure, like sometimes when I travel to like exotic rock locations, I'm like, oh wow, this is so different, this is so new. But with the urban stuff, like everything I touch, I'm like, oh, this feels really different or new, or I've never done something quite like this, or everything feels a little bit unique.
Today we're spending time with Alex Honnold. He's known in the world of rock climbing for pushing limits beyond what anyone previously thought possible. Honnold has speed records on the world's most difficult routes, but he's perhaps best known as a free soloist. That's a type of climbing that forgoes the use of ropes and gear. He's the first man to free solo the northwest face of Half Dome in Yosemite, and now he's preparing to climb the third tallest building in the world, Taiwan's 1,600-foot Taipei 101.
So things like Taipei 101, which you have coming up, for you, is that kind of like climbing a ladder and it's just fun and it's a good time?
Yeah,
or is it a bit
for
more
sure.
fun?
I mean, the first time I saw Taipei 101 in person, I was like, oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
The way like an amazing 1,700-foot ladder would look.
Alex Honnold was raised in Northern California. He moved from playgrounds to climbing gyms at the age of 11. And what inspires him to see if he can reach the top of just about anything is what we're going to discover.
This is going to be the really insightful interview. This is going to be the one when I talk about my feelings.
Yeah. I've almost got him. My goal was to have you in tears by the end of the day.
I was about to say, this will be the interview when I shed tears.
We got to see you climb the Palace of Fine Arts yesterday. How is climbing something man-made different from climbing a rock face like Half Dome?
Well, like at the most basic level, it's the same thing as when you're outside. You look at a line and you're like, does that look like something I can climb? And so then you just sort of evaluate, and then you like think about the materials. Does the rock look solid? Does the building look solid? Whatever. I mean, it's basically the same process, but just that I spend so much more time on rock, it's like more natural to me. Whereas with buildings, it's much more of an adventure. You're like, I don't know if that's solid. I'll have to find out. Oh yeah.
Dude, that was beautiful, man. That was awesome. That was very cool to watch. That was something special to see.
Nice. Yeah, it's cool. Actually, what's cool,
the birds,
the statues, all the women looking in, they all fully have faces. They're all sitting there like,
Really? They're looking at
yeah,
you.
so when you're actually like on the summit, they're each like... It was easier the way I came back down. That other corner is actually easier.
Yeah.
But not as cool. 'Cause it's cool
right in
coming out
here,
this far.
you were just
Yeah, it's like overhanging for
all
sure.
of that.
Yeah.
That was great. And it all
Yeah.
felt super solid, even those little flaky bits up there.
It's funny, I'm like all nervous. It's just, it's like putting on your stuff in a city just feels weird. I'm a little like leery of balconies just because it's like somebody's boardroom or something, or like, you like pop onto the balcony, you're like, hello!
A lot of people have questions for you, Alex. Let's start with Mark from Berkeley, California.
Yeah, Alex, what's up? I work construction, so I know that building is just brick facade, so 1/4-inch brick held up with glue. Well, what were you thinking?
Even on the way up, like in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, oh, these bricks are like ornamental, not structural. And I was like, you could conceivably pull a brick off. And I was like trying to kind of tread lightly and not put too much faith into like one point, so that like if I did blow a brick or something, I'd be like sort of okay still maybe, or I was at least like psychologically prepared for that.
People that just see what you're doing and say that, oh, he's just crazy, you guys got a death wish or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's probably refreshing to hear like, no, this guy thinks about his future, he cares about heart disease, he wants to be an old man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having grandkids someday, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's silly because people see all that stuff and they're like, oh, that guy's gonna, that guy doesn't even care. And you're like, well, no, I want to live as long as anybody else, like I want to make sure that I'm like, live a long, healthy life, whatever.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm doing my best though.
Yeah, well done so far.
Yeah, so far I'm sticking it.